Everyone thinks they know what the best old gaming monitor is, until they actually play on one. Because the truth is, OLED isn't just a fancy display upgrade. It's a straight-up gaming superpower. Black so deep they look like someone cut the pixels out of the screen. Motion so smooth it feels illegal, and colors that punch harder than a final boss. And stick around, because one of these monitors has a feature so ridiculous, so game-changing, that it actually bends the rules of physics well. At least it feels like it. I'll reveal it when we get there. Before we dive in, here's why this video is gold. I've tested, researched, and watched these OLEDs get pushed to the edge. So if you want real clarity, not marketing hype, you're in the right place. And trust me, choosing the wrong OLED is easy. Some look amazing but burn out fast. Some have god-tier motion but trash brightness. And one has a trick that doesn't even seem possible. Alright, let's hit the list. The number one is the LG Ultra Gear to 7G or 9.5 QE. This monitor is an absolute speed demon. We're talking a 27-inch 144p OLED panel with a 240Hz refresh rate. That instantly makes any fast-paced game feel smoother, sharper, and more connected. The pixel response times are basically zero, so motion blur, not even a thing. LG also nails their color tuning out of the box, with perfect blacks and insane HDR pop. If you want a monitor that feels like an esports weapon, but with old cinematic quality, this thing is wild. But here's the real experience. Using it feels like your eyes suddenly leveled up. The lightweight build, the clean matte coating, and the way it handles both bright maps and dark rooms make it feel engineered for gamers who bounce between genres. Its biggest downside: brightness isn't as strong as the 2020 for WOLED panels, and if you sit close, the aggressive auto-dimming can show up in certain UI-heavy games. But for the price, the value is stupidly good and perfect for competitive players who don't want to sacrifice cinematic immersion. The number two is the Asus ROG Swift PG-7A QD-OLED. This one, think of it like LG's monitor if it drank 3 energy drinks and hit the gym. It's a 144p OLED at 240 Hz. Sure, but Asus pushes brightness harder with smarter cooling and better peak nits in HDR. The image clarity is razor sharp, and their anti-glare coating gives you just enough punch without reflections washing everything out. And Asus being Asus, the build screams premium with that iconic ROG design. Now for the real-world vibes. This is the monitor for gamers who want OLED, but refuse to compromise on brightness. HDR looks beastly, motion is buttery, and the cooling system does its job without fan noise or hotspots. The only catch is the price. You're definitely paying the ROG premium. But if you're sensitive to brightness dips or you play in a well-lit room, this is hands down the better buy. The number three is the Alienware at W34 to 3D WF. The legendary QD-OLED ultra-wide that broke the internet. This 34-inch 3440 by 144 masterpiece delivers the richest, most vibrant colors in the entire OLED category. QD-OLED hits you with insane brightness, aggressively vivid colors, and flawless near-black performance. And the ultra-wide curve, perfect for racing games, RPGs, and cinematic shooters. Using it feels like being pulled into the game. The colors hit harder, the immersion is deeper, and the motion at 165 Hz is still unbelievably clean. It's not the best for competitive esports because the refresh rate isn't as high, but for anyone who wants the ultimate wow factor, this is your monitor. Downsides: the coating is glossy, so reflections can be annoying, and some users notice fringing with small text. But overall, this thing is still the ultra-wide king. The number 4 is the Asus PG-34WCDM. Now we're stepping into 2020 for next-gen territory. This is a 34-inch WOLED ultra-wide running at a ridiculous 240 Hz. Imagine ultra-wide immersion, but with competitive-grade speed. It's one of the first monitors to make ultra-wide OLED feel fast enough for esports, while keeping stunning HDR performance. Asus also includes full USB-C with power delivery, a built-in KVM, and cooling that pushes brightness even higher. In real use, This thing is stupidly versatile. You can play competitive shooters at 240 Hz, then switch to a story game and instantly get the deep black OLED cinematic blast. The HDR gets brighter than the Alienware, and the matte coating helps a ton with reflections. Downsides: it's pricey. Like, do I really need this? Pricey. But if you want the absolute best all-round ultra-wide OLED, this one is scary good. The number 5 is the Samsung Odyssey G9 5SC49 QD-OLED. This is the monster. A 49-inch dual QHD to 140 Hz QD-OLED display that basically replaces two monitors. With one giant wraparound screen, the colors are absurd, the brightness is insane, and gaming on it feels like strapping a VR headset directly to your desk. Racing games, mind-blowing. Flight sims, ridiculous. Even shooters feel crazy immersive thanks to the wider field of view. But here's the funny part. Despite being massive, it's shockingly comfortable to use. The curve is perfect for keeping everything visible without neck turning, and productivity is next level. The downside is obvious: it absolutely dominates your desk. Also, some games don't play nice with 32:9. But if you want maximum flex, maximum drama gaming, nothing touches this. And by the way, remember that impossible feature I teased at the start. This is it. Samsung's QD-OLED tech handles pure color brightness boost so aggressively that bright elements punch with a level of intensity that doesn't even look real. It feels like cheating. No other OLED does highlights like this one. That's the feature. Quick pattern interrupt. Did you know OLED pixels don't fade like normal LEDs? They actually shut off completely for blacks. That's why the contrast looks infinite. And yes, that's also why static weak can cause burn-in. Just needed to drop that and dot. The number 6 is the Gigabyte Aorus F03 to U2P. This one is part of the new wave of 32-inch 4K to 140 Hz OLED monitors. And it is an absolute powerhouse. 4K gaming at this size looks ridiculously crisp. And the 240 Hz refresh rate finally makes big screen 4K feel fast enough for shooters. The color accuracy is excellent, HDR punches hard, and it supports DisplayPort 2.1, so even future GPS won't bottleneck it. In everyday use, it's the perfect do-everything OLED. Productivity looks sharp, games look phenomenal, and the build quality feels premium. Downsides: 4K at 32 inches means GPU demand is brutal. If your graphics card can't hang, you won't hit the monitor's potential. But for high-end systems, this thing is a dream. Alright, quick audience check. What matters more to you? Ultra-wide immersion or pure speed? Drop your pick below. The number 7 is the LG for 5G or 95 QE. This is a 45-inch 3440 by 1440 OLED with an extreme 800 or curve that practically wraps around your face. It's tall, wide, and curved enough to feel like a cockpit. The 240 Hz refresh rate makes it great for fast games. And the image quality is classic OLED perfection, using it as a whole vibe. The curve makes everything feel closer, more personal, more intense. It's incredible for racing and RPGs, and surprisingly good for shooters too. Downsides: the pixel density isn't great, text isn't as sharp as you'd expect, and the curve might be too aggressive for some. But if you want maximum immersion without going full 49-inch, this is the sweet spot. Now let's wrap this up with a value bomb. OLED is amazing, but here's the trap nobody tells you. Brightness matters way more than you think. To OLEDs can look completely different just because one handles highlights better. Always check real-world brightness tests, don't trust the spec sheet. So what's your pick? Team ultra-wide madness, team to 140 Hz insanity, or team 4K clarity? Drop your team below, let's settle this war. And if this breakdown helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I've got a video coming next on the best accessories to pair with your new OLED setup. And trust me, you do not want to miss it.